Gathering at the community table, Harford Community College's Scholar in Residence program is all about Harford County's rich food and history. Now, how are we facing the challenges of the COVID-19 pandemic, and how do things work with the agricultural community and all their partnerships here in Harford County? That's all coming up in the next 30 minutes. I'm Christy Breslin, and this is Hartford MagaScene.
Dr. Sharon Stowers is a nutritional anthropologist, and she's also a professor at Harford Community College. She's here to tell us about all the great work that they're doing in Harford County to educate us more about the agricultural community. Hi, Sharon.
Hello. So great to be here, Chrissy.
Sharon, tell me what the Farmers and Community Partnership of Harford County is all about.
I am just so excited from Hartford Community College's initiative, our Scholar in Residence program, where I was able to go out to our farming community and use some of my expertise as a nutritional anthropologist to organize and help farmers and those that are interested in our food system to make a coalition of people that we can address the issues of today facing our agricultural producers and our consumers here in the county. So we have this great group of people, both from the government, county government, local, state, and nonprofits that have joined together to make our focus about our local food system.
What is your background and what made you interested in starting this Scholar in Residence program?
Well, the Scholar in Residence project allows our faculty who have expertise in specific areas to go out and give back to the community. And I was especially interested in doing this project that I created because as a nutritional anthropologist, I haven't been able to use my skills as much here in the county. Prior to being a faculty member, I did a lot of public health and international nutrition, and my expertise is community organizing. So I really wanted to bring that to the county and to help folks here in the county appreciate and learn about their local food system.
Tell us about the upcoming virtual symposium. And for those of us that aren't familiar with symposium, what exactly is that?
Well, a symposium is like a conference. The reason why we picked the word symposium is that it means that people gather together in conviviality for eating and drinking. So we thought, if we're going to talk about food, we should probably call this a symposium. Yes, and we're really excited. This is our third annual symposium. Our first one we held at the Hartford Community College. Our second one was at North Hartford High School, and you'll be hearing Greg Morrell talk about his program there. And this year we have to do something different because of COVID, of course. So we really took the bull by the horns and decided to create a wonderful event that'll be on Facebook Live that anybody can tune in. And that symposium is going to address the history of Hartford County and agriculture, because I don't know if you know this, but we are the birthplace of the modern sustainable agricultural movement in the United States. And right here in our Deer Creek farmers began this wonderful movement with Russell Lord, and it expanded all over the country and, the world. So we're going to talk about that, but not only that, we're going to visit with our farmers. We're going to look at some emus, and we're going to look at hydroponics, which is a type of farming where there's no soil even used. We're so delighted that we'll even have a food demonstration by Bruce Clark, who owns the Rare City Cafe in Havre de Grace. So he's going to be showing us how to cook chicken and a number of other things. Hartford County School children are also going to be involved in this and watching it with their families. And we'll also have some great hosts. We have Steve Rouse. You may remember him from somebody that was a radio personality in the area. He is also a farmer here in Hartford County. And we'll be having MPTV's Sarah Sampson, who is a producer of Maryland Farm and Harvest in Outdoor Maryland. She'll be another host for our show. And it's going to be on March 20th from 9 to 12. And we really hope you tune in on Facebook to see us there. And it's free, and we have prizes too.
Oh, free and prizes. You got me there.
Why did you feel it was so important to make this collaboration?
Because we have so many talented people in our county. I was truly blown away by the people I've met that work with the agricultural and food community. And one of the things that they were struggling with, I feel, is actually finding the time to get together and to brainstorm about these wonderful projects they've been thinking about over the years. So I've just been the person that's helped to facilitate their dreams to come true, really. And they have created this Farm Finder map, which is really marvelous. We've created the symposiums, which are really marvelous. We're connecting with the USDA down in Washington so that we have future projects with them. And we just are able to really help our farmers with legislation and all types of things that a coalition really can have the power behind. And with Senator Jason Gallian, who's also a part of our group, we keep abreast of legislation and work with him to get our farmers what they need in order to not only survive, but thrive here in Hartford County.
Now, if anybody was interested in maybe attending the symposium or just learning more about all the wonderful things that you're doing here in the community, how do we do that?
Well, they can contact me, Sharon Stowers, at Hartford Community College, sstowers@hartford.edu, and we'll give you all the information you can imagine. But we're also having a companion web page that the county is developing for us for the symposium, and you will give you information about how to get to that, log on to that, and see us streaming live on YouTube on March 20th.
Sharon, thank you so much for your time and everything that you're doing to make the county as successful as it is.
Oh, we're delighted that you care about what's happening in our agricultural community, and we're happy that Hartford Community College can be a part of it. So thank you so much for being here today.
Well, coming up next, we're going to learn more about one of Hartford County's treasures, the Stepping Stone Farm Museum. Stay tuned. Haley Miller is the executive director of Stepping Stone Museum, and she's here to tell us about their partnership with the agricultural industry in Hartford County and all the amazing features they have here at the museum. Hi, Haley.
Hi, Christy.
Now, Haley, tell me about the Stepping Stone Farm Museum and its relation to the agricultural industry here in Hartford County.
Yes, we've been here on this property since 1979. We preserve and interpret the rural heritage of Hartford County, which, if you know a little bit about Hartford County, they're really rich in farming. So we have everything from farm equipment, from manpower to horsepower to machine power to coopering, which makes the barrels that the products used to be stored in, to woodworking, blacksmithing, everything that you needed to have a farm actually run. We have shops here that actually run and artisans who actually demonstrate those trades and crafts.
Is it open to the public?
Yes, so we are actually on the Susquehanna State Park grounds, so we're open daily 9 a.m. to dusk. April through October, we have artisan weekends. They are 11 to 3. So you can come, the buildings will be open, and we'll have volunteers and tradesmen here demonstrating different things. And then we also have the buildings open by special request or tours or special events.
Now, I've been here before on field trips. I've churned butter, I've bobbed for apples, I've done some lawnmower racing. Tell us about all the wonderful things that you have to offer.
So we have an average of 8 events a year. We start again in April and we end in September. We start with opening day, celebrating our open season. And that's just getting people on the property, looking at our new displays, working with volunteers, and we're kind of fully staffed that weekend. And then we go to Hands-on History, which is a great event. You can bring your kids, they can learn how to make tops and baskets. It's a very hands-on, crafty event where you can actually learn how people lived back then and what it took to actually make these products. Then we go to Summer Fun Day, which is exactly like it sounds. It's just summer fun. So we have a car show, lawnmower races, ice cream, a whole bunch of different things. It's just good old summer fun for the family. Then we go to Bluegrass and Folk Festival, which is, as it sounds, a festival for music. And then our keystone event is Fall Harvest, which is in September. It's a 2-day event where you do apple bobbing, and sometimes we have apple butter making, and it's just good old family fun.
Stepping Stone has so many great features. Talk about some of the highlights.
So our farmhouse is, we actually have 3 historic buildings, which is our farmhouse, which was built in 1771, and then the corn crib and the blacksmith shop. I personally love the blacksmith shop just because of how rich it is in history and the fact that we brought it here. So it wasn't originally the property, and then the first woman in Hartford County voted in the blacksmith shop, and the story about the Ford family. But I mean, I can't really pick one other than that. It's just everywhere you turn, you find something new. I've been here for a year and I'm still learning stuff.
Now, is there a fee to attend some of these special events? And how do we find out when and where they're happening?
So most of our special events, there is a fee. It's a $10 cover charge that we charge at the gate. They can be found out on our Facebook, on website. We actually put out a brochure, so we put that out. Our new one just came out now, so about December of every year for the next year. We hand them out in the gift shop. They're at different places throughout Havre Grace. They are in the front of our office building. They're online. Pretty much our website, I would say, is the first go-to place. Or you can just give us a call and we'll answer your questions.
Haley, thank you so much, and I look forward to coming back up maybe to churn some butter, do some lawnmower racing, bob for apples, but there's so many great events here. I'm looking forward to trying to participate in them all.
Thank you so much, Christy, and we're looking forward to seeing you.
Well, sounds good. Now, coming up next, we're going to learn about the historical significance of the Hayes High House right here in Harford County. Stay tuned. Julie Mancini is here with us today, and she is the coordinator of the Hayes High House in Harford County. Very rich in Harford County history, and she's here to tell us all about it. Hi, Julie.
Hi, it's nice to meet you.
Now, Julie, you're also a college archivist. What does that mean?
The coordinator job is one where I plan the exhibits that we're going to host. A lot of the time I help to develop the exhibits and the events that we have as well. The college archivist holds the college's history. So I've got the yearbooks, the college catalogs, all the old photographs, and I've got it organized. And when people need cool old stuff or they have a weird question about the college's history, I'm the one they ask.
Now, tell me more about the Hayes High House and its rich history here in Harford County.
Yeah, so the Hayes High House was built in 1808. Hannah and Archer Hayes had it built for their 12 children. They had a lot of kids, so there's a lot of rooms in the house. And the house eventually was on what was called Prospect Hill Farm. So it stayed in the Hayes family until the early 20th century, and then the Highs bought it. That's Robert and Ann High, and they used the house as their headquarters for a horse breeding and training operation. After a number of successful years doing that, the County Board of Education actually bought the property to become the site of the new Hartford Junior College, now Hartford Community College. When the college first opened, they used the house as offices, and they used one of the barns as a gymnasium and another barn as a theater, actually. And so that went on for a number of years, and eventually, in 2010, they turned the house into the public history site that it is today.
Is the Hayes High House open to the public?
It is typically open to the public. Normally we are open 3 days a week, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, but in compliance with coronavirus protocols, we are currently online only. We do have an online exhibit.
Now tell me about some of the many exhibits that you have, and of course the new exhibit, The Land.
So we have exhibits that focus on the social and cultural history of Harford County, and we've done everything from the architectural history of the house itself to freedom, slavery, and emancipation in Harford County to the impact Aberdeen Proving Ground has had on the growth of the county. A few years ago, we even did one on the 1918 flu pandemic, which feels very timely now.
Yes.
And so our current exhibit is called The Land, and it focuses on takes an environmental agricultural approach to the county's history, where we look at how the land has been used over time and how that impacts the environment.
How does this tie into the agricultural history here in Harford County? What's the connection?
It ties so deeply into the history in Harford County. We go all the way back to how Native Americans used the land for sort of companion planting, and how after Europeans came in, tobacco wore out the land to some extent, and wore out the nutrient value of the land. It comes all the way forward to talk about techniques like contour plowing and cover crops. We kind of do a little bit of everything in the exhibit. We even talk about the choices made when you want to preserve sort of the agricultural look and feel of the county, and the programs that the county has developed to do that, the conservation trusts that we have. Maryland was actually the second oldest conservation association in the country. So we've been sort of on the forefront of this protection of agricultural land for a very long time.
And if we would like to visit the house, how would we go about doing that?
Right now, you can go online to the college's website, and we at hartford.edu/Hayes High House, and that'll take you right to our site, and you can learn more about the house. You can also get to some of our online exhibits that way.
Julie, thank you so much for being here, and hopefully we'll all get a chance to visit the Hayes High House in Harford County. We're lucky to have something like that in our county.
Thanks, I appreciate the chance.
Well, coming up next, we're going to hear about a very special program that is offered at North Hartford High School. Stay with us. Greg Merle is the director of North Hartford High's Agricultural Magnet Program, and he's here to tell us all about it. Hi, Greg.
Hi, Christy. How are you?
Great. Thanks for being here.
Glad to be here.
Now, Greg, what is the Magnet program all about?
About 10 years ago, we started this program, and the idea was to bring a strong academic agricultural program to Harford County. North Hartford High School has had agriculture in its curriculum since 1950 when the school opened, but we saw the need to increase the way the program was run and just bring more academic rigor into it so that our kids could take advantage of those opportunities to apply to four-year schools for agriculture or go into a two-year or to the world of work. So the program was really designed around that premise to be able to provide those kids that kind of opportunity.
Now, I imagine this is a pretty popular program with the kids?
It's been growing each year, so we're now able to take up to 100 students from all over the county each year. The interesting thing is about 450 students at North Hartford take an agricultural and natural resource classes through our program. So about 1/3 of the school is involved in ag education.
What is the Hartford Farm Finder map?
The Hartford Farm Finder map was generated from our GIS program at North Hartford. We have students that are involved in geographic information systems and work to earn a student and industry certification in this discipline. And so from that, in our involvement with the Ag Magnet program, it seemed like a natural fit to be able to provide to the Hartford County community where they could find farm products to purchase. And so our students then collected data from all the farming community and then used that data to actually create an interactive web app so that people could go to Hartford County's Buy Local campaign, click on the map, and then find where they could buy different agricultural products.
How are you involved in the virtual symposium?
So the virtual symposium, I think, is just a very great way to bring to the forefront the history of Hartford County agriculture, to tie in the educational component, and to be able to send that out to all over the community. So you don't have to be involved or you don't have to attend in person to really learn about the importance of agriculture in Hartford County.
COVID-19 has had a huge impact on all of us. How has it impacted you?
So in terms of what it's done for us is obviously we've had to go to educating our students virtually. And so we've missed some of the opportunities to bring them into school to take advantage of our barn, our wetlands, one that is on campus, and interact that way. So what we've done is we've created virtual tours as well. So now our students get to experience that from an educational standpoint by taking tours with the teachers, and getting those virtual experiences. And that's been the biggest impact because we want to have those kids in school developing those stewards, because that's what the main focus of the program is develop stewardship for agricultural and natural resources. And so it's been unique to try to do that in a different way. And so we're excited to be able to get students back hopefully soon. So that's been the biggest impact that it's had on the educational aspect.
How are you encouraging the kids to get involved in these programs? And is there a big job market for the agricultural industry?
One of the interesting things is that agriculture is one of the biggest industries in the state of Maryland. And so when we take a look at the different opportunities, there still are many opportunities in the agriculture industry. Maybe different than when we thought of when you talk about going on and having your own farm and production agriculture, but there's so many other ways to be involved in the world of agriculture in the state of Maryland and certainly in Hartford County. And we've seen that through our enrollment. Students are very interested in agriculture, very interested in natural resources. And so to be able to provide that opportunity for them to learn about the modernization and how they could play a role, even if they don't come from a family farm.
Thank you, Greg, for being here. Really appreciate it and great to see you.
Christy, it's been my pleasure. Thank you so much.
Now, coming up next, we're going to talk to Jason Gallian about the importance of agriculture right here in Harford County. Stay with us. I'm here with Jason Gallian. He is the Harford County Agricultural Specialist and a state senator. He's here to tell us about all the exciting things and all the partnerships that are happening right now, right here in Harford County. Hi, Jason.
Hi, Christy. Good to see you.
Now, Jason, tell me about the Agricultural Center.
Yes, we moved into the Ag Center just about 3 years ago. It was designed to be a kind of a one-stop shop for the ag community, where farmers and citizens could go and kind of have all their agricultural needs met. And we started out with my office being there. I'm the ag specialist for Hartford County government. Farm Bureau has an office there for Hartford County. So does Forest Pest Management, Soil Conservation, and University of Maryland Extension. So what we found is bringing all those groups together has really created a great a group to kind of collaborate and work together like we would have never before if we weren't all under the same roof. We're still hoping to get our federal partners, such as FSA, the Farm Service Agency, to move in there in the near future as well, so then we would truly have that one-stop shop for the ag community.
How are you involved?
We're finding that it's kind of a community thing where these different groups are getting together, and we're trying to kind of show regular citizens who aren't familiar with agriculture just where their food comes from and the importance of agriculture, both its history and what they do for their communities.
Now, what are some of the current initiatives that you're working on?
One of the big things with Hartford County government is an ag grant program that I administer that helps it helps newer farmers or a farmer that may be established but wants to try something new, maybe something different, something innovative. So we have that grant program. It's an annual program to help different farmers. We also recently opened the Grove Market there, which is designed to be an ag incubator. So if you're wanting to sell ag products, but right off you can't start by having a storefront, you could rent a space at the Grove and sell your items right out of there. So those are a couple of things, but probably the main focus is to support the Buy Local initiative, and we do that through different advertisements and things. But it's very important. We have 3 county farmers markets, one in Bel Air, one in Havre de Grace, and one in Aberdeen. And there's also a bunch of other local ag businesses. We have wineries, breweries, a lot of produce stands. So we try to support all those local ag businesses and encourage citizens to buy local, eat local, and drink local.
Jason, in your own words, what is the importance, the significance of agriculture in Harford County?
As far as Hartford County goes, but at the state of Maryland level, it's the #1 industry in the state. So agriculture is vitally important. And you have basic needs as a human, and one of them is to eat. So you look at farmers and the amount of acres they farm and compare that to the amount of mouths they're feeding, it's really amazing. So it's just essential to have a strong agriculture workforce to provide food for the citizens.
You're working very hard for us down there in Annapolis. What are some of the legislative issues that you're working on currently?
There are 4 standing committees in the state Senate, and I serve on Education, Health, and Environmental Affairs. I like serving that committee because all the agriculture-related bills come through that committee. So I found a lot of our time we spend trying to defeat bills that, let's say, are not very ag-friendly, so that's important, and some of that stuff you can defeat at the committee level. As far as bills I put forward, in my first session in 2019, we were able to pass a truth in labeling bill to support our dairy farmers. And basically, the FDA has a definition of milk, and they haven't been living up to it. So this bill would have Maryland join other states in a compact that would force the Food and Drug Administration to live up to their definition of milk. So we were only the second state to sign on to that, and it was a big win in that first session, I thought, especially for our dairy farmers.
Thank you so much for being here, Jason, and thank you so much for all that you're doing to make Harford County the amazing place to live that it is.
Thank you. It was very nice talking with you today.
Now, how is the University of Maryland involved in the agricultural aspect of Harford County? That's coming up next. Andy Ness is an agricultural agent for the University of Maryland Extension, and he's here to tell us about all the programs and services they offer to the people of Harford County at a very convenient location as well. Hi, Andy.
Hello.
Andy, what is an agricultural agent?
So an agriculture agent is a faculty member at the University of Maryland, and we work specifically with the agriculture clientele in the communities across Maryland. So as a county agriculture agent, I serve anyone who is a farmer or has any sort of interest in agriculture in the county through education and research and just general distribution of information to those members of the community.
How big is the agricultural community here in Harford County?
So if you're speaking in terms of farms and acreage in Harford County, we have a little over 600 farms in the county, and they're on over 75,000 acres in the county.
Now, you work for the University of Maryland Extension. What does Extension mean?
So Extension is a department within the College of Agriculture and Natural Resources at the University of Maryland. Now, just like any other department on campus, we have faculty and staff, except we are located primarily in the counties rather than on campus at College Park. So our mission and Extension is to educate the public through research and distribute that information at relatively low or no cost in the communities.
Now, what kind of services do you offer for the farmers and for the people of our community?
Within Extension, there's essentially 4 major program areas. One of them that a lot of the community may have already heard of is 4-H. So it's community or it's youth development through education, through STEM education, interest in livestock or farming or any type of science. That's 4-H. We also have family and consumer sciences. So that's anything that deals with healthy living, cooking, food, even finances. We also have master gardeners and home horticulture. So that's a program where folks that are interested in gardening or anything that's home plant related. And then finally we have agriculture, which is what I work in. So I serve the farmers and ag community. Anyone that, again, has any sort of ag business is what I would serve.
Talk about the Agricultural 101 workshop. What exactly does that focus on?
So the Ag 101 workshop is something that we are developing to be sort of a 30,000-foot view of Maryland agriculture, if you will, in the state of Maryland. So anybody that may be curious about farming in the state of Maryland, you know, why farmers do things this way and why they don't do things another way and things like that, it would be a course where, sort of a crash course in Maryland agriculture.
Now, what about the classes? What if we're interested in taking a class? Is there a fee? How do we find out? How do we enroll?
So the best way to get in touch with classes would be to get on my mailing list. You can email me at akness@umd.edu, and I can get you on my mailing list, and you'll get notified of really any information and classes that are coming up. And there is no fee to attend that class, so it would more than likely be online via Zoom. So everyone is more than welcome to attend that class at no charge.
Andy, thank you so much. Sounds like a lot of really good classes and a lot of education for all the people that are maybe interested in a career in agriculture.
Yes, that's why we're here. Thank you.
Don't miss out on the Rooted in Agricultural virtual symposium. And to learn more about all the food and farming right here in Harford County, you can always visit their website. I'm Christy Breslin. See you next month on Harford MagaScene.